Hi, Gina here with Peace, Love, and Homeschool, and today I'm going to share a few things I've been working on this month. Hi everyone, and today I'm working on a collab. It's called Handmade with Love, a project roundup. And what it's all about is any of the handmade items that you've been working on during the month, you round them up and share them with us. I'm hoping to spark ideas and creativity, and especially I'm trying to spark something in people who don't normally work on handmade items. So I know that for me, working with my hands is a real calming effect, and so I love doing that. I have a playlist. You can click it right up here in the little eye, and you can watch all the past videos that have been up in this collab, and hopefully we'll have some more joining us this month. It's been a whole lot of fun watching to see what everybody's made, and it's really gotten me excited to get some more projects done. Now this past month I have not had a lot of time to work on some projects, so what I did was work on my UFOs, which are unfinished objects. So I pulled out several items that I've been working on and decided to get them done. So let me show you what I've done this month. Okay, so one of the first things I've made is a ponytail hat. Isn't this cute? I just love this graduated effect that this yarn gives, and every hat I make from this skein of yarn will be a little different. So I'm going to work on some more for this winter. Get some ponytail hats up for sale. As far as the pattern goes for this, it was just an online free pattern. Gosh, I did not even think to find my link, so I will see if I can do that real quick, but when I get this video up. The next thing I worked on is like a scissors holder. Now these scissors have a sheath, and you can put them in without the sheath, but it does get kind of tricky down here, pointy. So I chose to use the scissors with the sheath to go in here. And this is a felted scissor cozy, I guess you'd call it. And it's from one of my favorite books called Felted Crochet. I fully intend on making every project in this book, or just about every project in this book. I just love them all. This is just the cutest book. There's a hat that I'd love to make, and here's a placemat and coaster I love. I just want the yarn from this one. Okay, so let's get my blocks of the month out of the way. One project I was working on a couple years ago is the Splendid Sampler, and it's a project where I can't remember the head person who was in charge of this, but her and several designers got together and made I don't know how many squares, probably over 100. I think 2 squares a week for a whole year. So probably over 100 in there, and I'm not too thrilled about this one. I just wanted to make a square and I couldn't find some of my fabric, so I didn't have a lighter fabric to work with, but I still went ahead and just made it. So this was one of the squares that I made. And I'm very behind on this project. I've only made a handful of them, but I'm determined to finish this up by the end of the year. Now these next 2 squares are from a group I was in a couple years ago, and we had a block of the month every time we went, and I don't know why I did not keep up with this, but I just didn't. So here, I think part of it is I didn't have a place to sew, so I didn't want to always pull my stuff out. And then I would try to sew at my mom's on Fridays, and that didn't always work out. So here's one of the squares that I made. And I don't remember the names of these blocks. They just had a printout that they gave us each month, and it was the block we were supposed to work on. And the next block I loved so much, I made 2. And it's not so much the design I loved, I just loved all the different colors of fabric in it. And I just used scrap fabric I had gotten over the years, and so I just pulled that fabric and made these small pieces and pulled this square together. And I have 2. Now the next project I finished up was something I started also a couple years ago, and it was completely finished except I had to sew in the lining and the binding and then add the little embellishments to it. I had never done a binding before on a quilt or anything else, so I just kind of put it off to the side and forgot about it. So when I was digging through my UFOs, I found it and looked up a quick tutorial on how to bind how to do a binding, and I was able to do it. So this is a thread catcher, and it is lined. And this is for when I sew and I cut off the little ends or the scrap pieces of fabric that I don't need. I can just throw it in here, and then when it gets full I can dump it in the trash, so I'm not constantly having to go to the trash. I'm also a scrapbooker, so I made 2, and this one is still not quite finished. That binding just really got to me. All I have to do, I've already sewn the binding on the outside, so now I just need to, I folded it over and clipped it, and I just need to hand stitch, or I could machine stitch it, but I'm going to hand stitch it to the inside, and it's, oh, and then sew these little beads on the corners to help it stand up more into a square. So one will be sitting over here at my sewing machine, and the other one will be sitting over there at my scrapbook station. And this was a free pattern I got from Val Laird. I hope I'm saying her name right. Her website is val-laird.blogspot.com. Here's a picture of hers. It comes with a tag that you can put in the front called thread catcher, but I just love this fabric so much I didn't want to put anything up there, so I chose not to add that part to my project. But I think these are just the cutest little things, and they're so handy, and they will be useful. And my final project, which is actually still wet and not totally completely finished, is a felted bag, a felted tote. Now this one, I ran it through and felted it in my washing machine, and it is still wet right now. I have a new washing machine now that is a front loader, so I didn't stop it in time for it to go through the spin cycle, so it does have creases in it that I'm going to have to try and work out from the force of the washing machine. So that's something I'm going to have to work out. And then this one is a really cute one, the cute pattern. See the holes in it? See my finger right there? This is so you can weave a ribbon around it and then tie a big bow on it. And I'm going to try and find this color, this teal color, and put it up here. I tried to find one last night, but I didn't think it would match. But now that I got home and saw the color, I think it would have been perfect. So that's my bag, and I have enough wool to make 2 more of these bags. So I'm going to make at least 2 more, and then I'm probably going to be done with it. They're really quick and easy to work up, but they can get a bit repetitive, you know. But if you have nothing better to do, it'll keep you busy, and it's an easy pattern. And that is it. That's all I have for today. I hope to be having more each month, because I really hope to dig in to sewing, and now that I've got the sewing portion of my room semi set up, I can at least cut fabric, iron fabric, and sew right here in my little cubby. The rest of the room still needs work, and I haven't even begun to pull out my scrapbook stuff over there. I have it all set up below, but it's going to be pulled out and organized out here where I can access all my scrapbook things and work on finishing my children's scrapbooks. So that's the plan. With my luck, I'm gonna get my room finished just as we move from here. That's just, you know, Murphy's Law. It never fails. But hey, that's okay. At least I'll be somewhat organized and know what I want, and then I can pack it all up accordingly and just set up in my next room when we move. So that's all I have for you today. Feel free to click on that link in the iCard above and check out all the other videos. For those of us who have shared our project Roundup. And if you are a person who works with your hands and makes beautiful things, whether it be with wood, beads, sewing, crafting, scrapbooking, card making, anything, please feel free to share it. And if your children do these things also, please share their work or have them share it. This is an open collab, and all you have to do is find the link down below if you want to share your video to our playlist. And just be sure to mention the name of the collab, and we'd love to have you join us. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Peace out. If you missed my last video, no worries, you can check it out right here. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel right here. And be sure and ding the little bell so you know each and every time we upload.